Reading the book Affectionate Guidance by Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Goswami Maharaj. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. This is a publication of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, Navadip, India. Website www.scsmat.com. Chapter number 1. The Divine Service of Krishna. Krishna is the highest, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are 5 types of rasas or divine ecstasies. Every rasa is fully present in Krishna. The servitors of Krishna are all happy in his exclusive service. There are so many religious conceptions to be found in the world. Some favor Shanta rasa, peacefulness, others Dasya rasa, servitude, or Sakya rasa, friendship, or Vatsalya rasa, parenthood. But Madhura rasa, divine consorthood, is found in the extreme only in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For example, Jesus Christ introduced himself as a Son of God, and so he showed us the fatherhood of Godhead, taking himself as the Son. That is taken as the highest relationship, and that the kingdom of God is heaven. This was Jesus' explanation to the general mass. We see that his conception and that of the Vaishnavas is sometimes quite similar. Guru Maharaj also showed appreciation for Christianity. But the highest goal is Madhura Rasa, and that is possible only by worshipping Krishna in various ways. That type of service is not explained anywhere in the general scriptures, such as the Bible or Quran, etc. It is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the glories of which are sung by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was he who distributed in the world the rasa of Madhurya, divine sweetness. The good souls who are attracted by this sweetness cannot be attracted anywhere else except to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and thus begin the worship of Lord Krishna. The domain of Krishna is Goloka. We should know of 2 basic divine natures of the Lord, Madhurya and Audaja. In Madhurya, the Lord enjoys his own divine loving sweetness with his eternal associates. But in his mood of Audarya, he is always employing different ways to distribute divine ecstasy to the pure souls, the devotees. In the Quran, we hear of Khoda and Banda. Khoda means God, and Banda means servant. There also we find a relationship between God and the soul. And in the line of Christ, the supreme relationship is shown as Father and Son. We have seen in the Song of Solomon only a hazy mention of consorthood. Actually, all the religions of the world generally reach to Brahmaloka, or the non-differentiative plane of the Absolute. Before Brahmaloka, or the plane of Brahman, is the river called Viraja, but beyond Brahmaloka is the divine plane of Vaikuntha. Our devotional life starts in Vaikuntha Loka. This is Vaishnavism. Shankaracharya's conception of Nirvishesha or Nirakara, an impersonal or formless God, is only the plane of Brahman. But our Vaishnava Shastra or scripture say that he has divine form. Although we cannot perceive it, within the sun there are also many forms. If we observe a jungle from afar, we see only a mass, but when we enter a jungle, we can properly observe so many things, birds, beasts, trees, flowers, etc., all engaged in their mutual affairs within the jungle. Similarly, from a distance, people say, God is this, God is that, He has no form, etc. They describe Him according to their vision, but if we exclusively try to know the form of God and the domain of God, we shall have to come to the conception of Vaikuntha Loka. From there, the 5 rasas progressively appear, culminating in Krishna Loka. Krishna Loka is the highest plane, as confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Ete changsha kalaha pungshaha Krishnashtu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulang Lokang Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Quote, the descents of the Lord are either His plenary portions or portions of those portions. In every age they descend to relieve the world of the disturbance created by demons. But the original form of God is Krishna, the son of Nanda. End of quote. Whatever one may see with the eye of transcendence, all that is auspicious has its origin in Krishna. This interpretation is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Supreme Personality has everything. In Him there are not only the 5 kinds of chief rasas or mukhya rasas, there are also the indirect or gauna rasas. Everything is in Him, and everything is auspicious in Him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute the ecstasy of our transcendental life. And after Mahaprabhu, many of his pure followers or associates, parshads, came into this world. In this way, we think ourselves most fortunate to have as our guardian Srila Bhakti Rakkhak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. We are trying to serve him to our best capacity in the company of the Vaishnavas. That is our happiness. I am very happy when devotees from all over the world come here to Sri Navadip Dham for transcendental life, leaving aside the mundane. We are all trying to practice in the plane of seva, divine service. That alone can give us the highest goal. In this mundane world, there are the methods of karma, jnana, yoga, or works, knowledge, meditation, etc. But every method cannot take us to the Absolute, although every method is somehow connected with the line of bhakti or devotion. Otherwise they have no substance or factual existence. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has said, Sarvang karma kilang partha, jnane parisammapyate. Which means, works ultimately culminate in knowledge. And tapasvibhyo dhiko yogi, jnanibhyo pi mato dhikaha, karmibhyas chadiko yogi, tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatin antaratmana shradhavan bhajate yomang same yuktatamo mataha. That's Gita 6:46 and 47. Quote, I consider the yogi superior to the performer of austerity, superior to the worshipper of Brahman, and superior to the worldly worker. Therefore, Arjuna, be a yogi. And of all yogis, supreme is the faithful devotee who surrenders unto me and serves me with all his heart. End of quote. Thus the jiva soul may progress in devotional life up to exclusive devotion, Ananya Bhakti. He must be the gainer, and with the blessings of Sadhu, Guru and Vaishnava, he must come to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Service is life. Everybody is always doing something, thinking, feeling and willing. It is the nature of the Jiva soul in this world to be always active. But if he functions properly in the line of devotion, that is called seva, and he becomes the greatest gainer. So we are trying to maintain our spiritual life under the guidance of Guru and Vaishnava. Our spiritual life is the service of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar. We are living souls, we are not dull matter. If we are not scholarly, it does not matter. We can communicate by heart. One boy came here from Hungary. He could not even speak to us. He could not even say, "I want to eat something." Still, he stayed with us happily for about 4 or 5 weeks without difficulty. Maybe a little, of course, but negligible. In this way, our Shraddha, or faith, will guide us. Srila Guru Maharaj always directed his devotees to engage themselves 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord. In this way you can ignore the mundane world and you must reach your destination. Some may engage themselves in fasting for spiritual life. It is very commendable that they want spiritual life, but in spiritual advancement we still need to maintain our mundane body. The safest course is to follow the line of Srila Rupa Goswami. Anasaktasya vishayan yatarham upayunjataha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktang vairagyam uchyate. From Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 255 of the Purva section. Quote, Yukta Vairagya is said to be the detachment of one who, with disinterest, accepts objects favorable to the practice of devotion. Krishna's relativity is the predominant factor. End of quote. The purport is, the person detached from mundane objects, yet eager for objects associated with Krishna, accepts with the spirit of detachment objects conducive to his devotion, while rejecting those unconducive to it. His detachment is known as integrated detachment. For example, we cannot live in this world without food, but that food should be the prasadam of Krishna and Mahaprabhu. Yagya shishta shinaha santo muchyante sava kil vishayi bhunjate te tvaghang papa ye pachantyatma karanat. From Gita 3:13. Those who cook for themselves are eating sinful things, but those who cook for the deity, for Krishna, for Bhagavan, God, and take his remnants as his mercy, they proceed correctly. They will not be attacked by Maya. They will not be attacked by Kali or the onslaught of sin. Everybody has some good qualities, no doubt, and in the absolute sense there is no sin in the Jiva soul. Sin is a Mayic form, an illusory form. Ahankara nivrittanang keshavo nahi duragaha. Ahankaraha yutanang hi madhye parvata rashayaha. From the Brahma Vaivata Puran. Quote, Keshava, Krishna, can be found in the company of the selfless, but the egoistic are mountains apart from him. End of quote. When we think, this is mine, that is called ahankara. This boy is my son, this man is my father, this house is my house. Such consciousness that this is mine is called Maya. And when that type of shadow comes over us, we cannot see the sun. Like a cloud comes in the sky and blocks our view of the sun. Maya is like this. When the illusion of ahankara or false ego comes over us, we cannot see God. But in the light of God, we can see Maya. And in the light of the Jiva soul, we can see our ahankara. In this way, we can realize everything. Our realization will come in this way, and this is the proper way. End of chapter 1 of Affectionate Guidance by Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. Affectionate Guidance, Chapter 2, In Praise of the Devotees. Sometimes it is necessary to have an Ishtagoshti. An Ishtagoshti is when devotees gather together and discuss various questions they may have. This is also an opportunity to harmonize difficulties between devotees. After 1 or 2 years of my joining here at Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, we would regularly hold an Ishtagoshti. Lunch would be finished by 1 p.m. and then the Ishtagoshti would last for the hour between 2 and 3 p.m. All the devotees staying in the mat would sit together and attend. Sometimes Srila Guru Maharaj would join the group, and he had a special way to manage us. The general understanding is that a devotee is one who is fully devoted to the Lord. But in Vaishnavism, the real devotee of Krishna is considered to be he who is fully devoted to Sri Guru Vaishnava. Krishna himself said, Ye me bhakta janaha partha, ne me bhaktas cha te janaha, mad bhaktanang cha ye bhaktas, te me bhaktatama mataha. Quote, Who is devoted to me is not my real devotee, but one who is devoted to my devotee is my real devotee. End of quote. By means of the Ishtagostis, Srila Guru Maharaj gave much chance for the devotees to praise each other. Sometimes two devotees may clash with one another, each having a different opinion. One would want to go in one direction, the other in another direction. Thus their minds would clash, and they may insult each other. Srila Guru Maharaj would harmonize them by calling them both and asking each to praise the other. He would tell them, Describe the good qualities of this devotee. In this way, Srila Guru Maharaj taught us how to praise Vaishnavas without looking at their faults. Srila Guru Maharaj used the expression, You are not a drain inspector. He would explain, You are a searcher of Krishna consciousness. Your position is not that of a drain inspector. An ant searches for a hole to use for his own purpose. Without searching for any holes, see only the good qualities of the Vaishnavas and follow that. In this way, Srila Guru Maharaj organized the classes of Ishtagoshti so the devotees can come together and praise each other. It was also a chance for devotees to ask any questions they may have. Srila Guru Maharaj would encourage the devotees to answer each other's questions. In this way, he managed our minds. We must be tolerant, we must be humble, and we must give honor to other devotees. If we read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can understand all the Siddhanta. But in which way can we follow the line of Srila Rupa Goswami and the other Goswamis? This we can easily understand through the books of Srila Guru Maharaj. There are many questions answered there. I have not had a chance to read all the books of Srila Guru Maharaj, but I am very satisfied with their titles. When I hear the name of the book, The Loving Search for the Lost Servant, I can immediately remember Krishna's pastimes as described in Sri Brihat Bhagavatamritam. In The Loving Search for the Lost Servant, there is a very nice picture of Krishna embracing a lost servant, and this is the theme of its title. Only love can give us all wealth of transcendental happiness, but in the material conception only its shadow is found, and it is bad. We cannot see everything of the origin in the shadow. In the negative world all must be negative, and in the positive world all are positive. In this mundane world, paramour love is not praiseworthy, but the opposite is the case in the transcendental world. The only enjoyer there is Krishna. Everyone is engaged in supplying materials for his enjoyment. Therefore, everything there is very joyful, auspicious, and transcendental. Krishna engages in a loving search for his own satisfaction. In the positive world, the loving search is in a positive way. Krishna is the enjoyer, but he feels some deficiency in enjoyment because his servant is lost. He has everything, but he wants to give enjoyment to his lost servant. He gave freedom to us, but we misused it and therefore came within the mundane world and we try to enjoy mundane things. Therefore we are also searching. We are searching for happiness, but happiness is not found here, so we are unfulfilled. A person here feels, if I have 5 rupees, I will be happy. Then, having 5 rupees, if I have 10 rupees, I will be more happy. Then, 100 rupees is necessary, then I'll be happy. Similarly, we try to collect for ourselves kanak, kamini and pratishta, wealth, enjoyment and fame, but always we become dissatisfied. Krishna says, Tetang bhukta svarga lokang vishalang, Shine punye martya lokang vishanti. Bhagavad Gita 9:21. Quote, after enjoying that great extensive heavenly happiness, the residents of heaven, with the depletion of their piety, then enter the human plane. And Abrahma bhuvanal lokaha punar avartinorjuna. Gita 8:16. Quote, from the planet of Lord Brahma downwards, the residents of all planets are naturally subjected to repeated birth and death. End of quote. We are moving in such a way throughout the mundane world, the Brahmanda, but Krishna is searching for us. Where is that soul who misused his freedom? He sees everything, but he does not interfere. The only reason he does not interfere is that he wants that each one will willingly serve him. When someone crosses over illusion and enters the transcendental service world, particularly the super service section which is under the guidance of Madhura Rasa, Krishna immediately embraces that devotee. Oh, after so long I am seeing you. I know service to me is your life's goal, and now after so long you have come back to your home. I have been always wondering when you will come. Such is Krishna's nature. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is related how Sri Gopalji hiddenly stayed on Giriraj Govardhan, and how, when Madhavendra Puri came nearby, he supplied him some milk, and then gave a dream to him, saying, I am waiting for you, and the time that you will come here, take me out and arrange my seva. I have to undergo so much austerity here. In the winter I have no clothes. In the summer I have no fan. Every day no one comes to feed me. I am fasting, but every day I am waiting for the day you will come and take me and give me nourishment. Ong punam adha punang idang, punat punam udachyate, punasya punam adaya, punam eva vashishyate. Sri Ishopanishad. The Lord is full. He is full of everything. but his deficiency is found in love. It is not actually a deficiency, but it is his pastime, his Leela. He is feeling deficiency, and when his servitors serve him, Krishna happily accepts and gives in return the opportunity of more and more service. But until that point when the servitor comes to willingly serve him, Krishna waits for that lost servant. Krishna is full of joy, ecstasy and everything, but it is his pastime that he wants to play, and therefore there must be both positive and negative, otherwise he cannot play. In the positive world is also one kind of negativeness. Otherwise he cannot play, and that is called separation. Srila Guru Maharaj is living and present here today, but we are unable to see his form. In this way, in a negative way, we feel Srila Guru Maharaj's presence, but it is also positive. In the positive world, everything is positive, but when the play will take place, a type of negativity must come. That negative is not like the negativity of this mundane plane. The negative of the higher plane is always helping the positive. To the degree of its necessity, negativity will come, and it is called separation. Union in separation is the topmost ideal of the transcendental world. For the play of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, separation gives more and more ecstasy. Krishna Mai, Krishna Yara, Bhitare Bahire. Yaha, Yaha Netrapade, Taha Krishna Spure. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 485. When Krishna hides, his form is always before Radharani. She can never be without Krishna. In this way, union in separation is the highest goal of life. When there is union, devotees are no doubt happy, but they need more happiness, and that comes through separation. That is shown in Krishna Leela, where his separation from the gopis lasted 100 years. But this is all inconceivable. Such a position is unimaginable, and it is also not good to try to imagine it. Sometimes to have direct association may be considered to be bad. One day Rupa Goswami Prabhu invited Sanatana Goswami to take sweet rice, etc. But when Sanatana Goswami understood that the ingredients had been supplied by Srimati Radharani, he was very unhappy. He said, "We want to worship her, and if we can do even a little service for her, we consider that to be the fulfillment of our lives. But seeing the wish of Rupa, she is trying to serve us." The higher souls do not want to see Krishna. Raghunath Das Goswami said, "What shall I do with Krishna? I need to serve you, Radharani, and if you give that chance, it will be the fulfillment of my life. But without your service, I do not want to serve Krishna directly." The Gaudiya Vaishnavas, especially the Rupa Nuga Sampradaya, do not follow Mirabai because she shows herself to be directly connected with Krishna. Rather they think, "We are the servitors of the servitors of the servitors of Radharani. This is our line, and in this way we will get the fulfillment of our transcendental life." When the real Vaishnavas get some sight of Krishna, they think it is illusion, and they are not satisfied with it. Even Mahaprabhu himself expressed, "Na prema gandho sti darapi me harao, krandami saubhagya bharang prakasitam." Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 245. He could not tolerate the separation from Krishna, therefore he cried. But while crying he expressed, "Nothing I have is sufficient for Krishna. Actually, I have no love for Krishna. Why am I crying for Krishna? Simply as a show to others. But it is not real love, because if it is real love, then I would not be able to live. I would certainly die for him. But I am not dead." When the Vaishnavas see Krishna, they think what they see is illusion. I am too unqualified. It is not possible for me to see him. It must be illusion. I do not want to see him in this way. They want to see Krishna living with Radharani, and that is the real form of Krishna. That is where Krishna is supremely happy, and that is our goal. Leaving aside that ideal, we can see Krishna in his pastimes in many places, in Dwaraka, in Mathura, in Hastinapur, etc. In each place of his pastimes he is present, but the Gaudiya Vaishnavas have no specific connection there. They even do not go to Dwaraka, to Hastinapur, and even they do not go to Mathura. They do not like to see the appearance place of Krishna. The mood of the Rupanuga Sampradaya is that our line is very fine. Srila Guru Maharaj was very heavy and strict on this point. For the service of this mat, we started running pilgrimage tours to different places around India to bring in funds and to attract good people. At first we started Purushottam Dham, that is Puri Dham, Parikrama. Each advertising pamphlet we made was composed under the very careful guidance of Srila Guru Maharaj to ensure it followed the line of the Rupanuga Sampradaya. Later we went to Badrik Ashram. But it is the place of Nara Narayan, so what relevance does it hold for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas? Nothing directly, but we wanted to go because pilgrims would automatically want to join such a tour, thereby helping the mat. Therefore I asked Srila Guru Maharaj, please indicate how we can go there and still keep its relevance to our line. Then Srila Guru Maharaj gave the connection that a short distance from Badrik Ashram is the place of Vyasadeva, his cave. He said, if you wish to go there for the service of this mat, you must not break the line of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. You must indicate Vyasadeva's cave in the pamphlet. He instructed me to mention in the pamphlet the connection with Nityananda Prabhu's pilgrimages and the ashram of Vedavyas and Shukadev Goswami as the motive. When I planned a pilgrimage tour to Dwaraka, Srila Guru Maharaj said that if we go to Dwaraka, we must also go to Kurukshetra. Otherwise, it will not be able to be harmonized within our Gaudiya Vaishnava's line. Srila Guru Maharaj never gave permission to leave the track of the Rupanuga Sampradaya, to go along any other Sampradaya's track. We are running in the Rupanuga Sampradaya, so we are not to leave our track to go to see with any other's vision. The gopis went to Kurukshetra, but we must remember why they went. The place where there is extreme separation from Krishna is Kurukshetra. Krishna, as the head of the Yadavas, was present there with many of his wives. They were all highly decorated. The gopis were very poor, and they thought, Krishna is our Krishna, but they are enjoying with him. We need this Krishna, but not in the way we see him before us now. Srimati Radharani feels, Krishna is present in front of us, and he has met with us. I am that same Radharani, and our meeting is not false. It has actually happened, but it is not giving me any actual satisfaction. The Rasa Leela also happened there, but she further mentions, here we are meeting and dancing with Krishna, but I am very unsatisfied and unhappy. How will I be happy? If this Krishna will go to the banks of the Jamuna and play with us as we did before, then I shall be happy. In an extended way, this has been preached by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj also. But after Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj became the helmsman and took firm control of the rudder. All the godbrothers of Srila Guru Maharaj came to have his association because of this. Because Srila Guru Maharaj was controlling the whole of the Rupanuga Sampradaya, did they all come to him. He was not only controlling, but he was guiding everyone. Srila Guru Maharaj tried to help everyone. The holder of the rudder, the helmsman, was Srila Guru Maharaj, and he always was keeping the key of the iron safe. Everyone respected him in this way. This was also the idea behind the design of his Samadhi Mandir. He is the treasurer, therefore his Samadhi Mandir must give some impression of a treasury. All the big personalities, everyone, respected Srila Guru Maharaj for that cause. He is accepted by all as holding the post of the leader of our Sampradaya. If you read the introduction pamphlet of any of the parikramas that we organize, to West India, South India, Purushottama Dham, Badrik Ashram, etc., you will be able to understand how Srila Guru Maharaj harmonized each tour in accordance with the line of our Sampradaya. We must harmonize everything to stay on the track. We must not leave the track, and Srila Guru Maharaj was careful to guard against that. It is very hard to guide in that line. Gopa Kumar went onwards from one place to another, but only was he satisfied when he reached Brajadham and the embrace of Krishna. Krishna said, "And I have been waiting for you. For so long I have been waiting for you. Now I am satisfied." Both of them fainted, Krishna and his devotee. That is the heart of Krishna, you can understand. Sometimes Krishna's wives in Dwarka cannot get his association. They sleep with him, talk with him, and serve him, but they sometimes say, "We do not have real Krishna. Whom we are worshipping, that is not real Krishna. We may serve his body, but his mind is absent. In this way, to whom we are rendering service is not full Krishna." Such is their expression. The mood of Krishna is that he is always searching the rare services. He is not eager to accept what comes easily to him. That nature in a negative way is also found in the mundane plane. Actually, I do not have time to read the scriptures. If we read the scriptures, we must be misguided through the books. But if we get the association of a good Vaishnava who is a master, then there is no chance to be misguided. Scriptures themselves give the advice of Krishna, Vyasadeva, and so many others. They say, try to get good Vaishnava association and render them service. If you try to read, you must be misguided. Otherwise, why did Mahaprabhu say, "You go and read Srimad Bhagavatam in front of a Vaishnava who knows its meaning"? The good servitors of Srila Guru Maharaj are the wealth of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. The real wealth is the devotees, and I am trying to serve you all with whatever I have. I want your association, really. I am receiving transcendental food from you. When I see you, I think, I have service. But to be alone is not good for anyone, even myself. We are trying always to do service, no doubt, but sometimes we must be worried, and that is painful. But with the devotees, it becomes not painful, but hopeful, and giving happiness. Everyone wants relaxation, and my relaxation is to be with the devotees. Srila Guru Maharaj is very happy with this program of daily English class on his Samadhi Mandir, the Temple of Union in Separation. This Samadhi Mandir is not here just for show, but it is for using in the service of Srila Guru Maharaj. Real service is to glorify the Vaishnavas headed by Srila Guru Maharaj and his associates. This program of glorification of Srila Guru Maharaj through his associates and devotees must continue here every day. In that way, Srila Guru Maharaj will be even more happy. End of chapter 2 of Affectionate Guidance by Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. Chapter 3. Secure at Home. Question. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it says that the Jiva soul, when in the spiritual world, is perfect, but when in the material world, is fallible. Therefore, my question is, how can the infallible spirit soul change his perfect nature, thereby falling into this material world? Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj replies, there is the spiritual world and the material world, but in between them is the middle section, the abscissa. Jiva Shakti is the middle potency of the Lord. There is Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti and Svarup Shakti. Maya Shakti is the garden of the material world, and Svarup Shakti is the garden of the spiritual world. But the Jiva souls are being produced from the middle portion, Jiva Shakti. Originally, the Jiva souls are coming from the middle potency, and by nature they are generally looking towards the light and are going there to the spiritual world. But a few of the Jiva souls are unfortunately looking towards the mundane world. They are attracted by that, and that is who we are, and that percentage is very, very small. By far the greater percentage are going towards the spiritual world. Those who are looking towards Maya are feeling, oh, we are the soul, we are light, but there is darkness, and we are masters of that dark world. It is their misfortune. They are attracted and are coming towards Maya. The Jiva souls are produced from the middle section and are very tiny, and therefore some are attracted by Maya, although most are attracted by the light, the spiritual realm, and are going there. Although there are relatively only a few who are coming here, still that means crores and crores, but that is few compared with the whole spiritual universe. The fallen Jiva souls are coming here from the middle portion, but there are others who are coming from the light section, but they are not fallen. Amongst them are Sadhu, Guru, Vaishnava, Bhagavan, and many avatars. They are coming here in order to take the Jiva souls towards the world of light. Whoever goes to the light world, the spiritual world, does not come back to this plane as a fallen soul, but sometimes they may come down by the will of Krishna in order to rescue the fallen Jiva souls. Whoever is serving in the transcendental world does not come back here. Only by the will of Krishna someone may come here, but that is not falling down. We can also see the case of Jaya and Vijaya. They were Vaikunta gatekeepers and came down here, but that was by the will of Krishna, and they went back also. Anyone who is living in the spiritual world, or who goes there, does not come back here. Yad gatva na nivartante. Whoever is living there is always living there, and they will only come back from that world in order to rescue the Jiva souls from this plane and take them to the spiritual world. Those who are living in this world are the fallen souls, but there is no possibility for those who are living in the transcendental world to come back here as fallen souls. Only they may return here by the will of Krishna. Everything there is the will of Krishna. It may be offense or anything, but it is all happening by His will. One who is living here can go there, and once going there, he will not return. Not only the perfect Jiva soul may come here by the Lord's wish, but also the transcendental plane can come here and play here. Krishna with his whole paraphernalia comes down to this mundane world, and they play here. But their play is the play of the transcendental plane. Transcendental means infinite. The transcendental plane is always infinite. Krishna can go anywhere and do anything, so he can come down to this plane. Also, he can expand any place and can contract any place. Everything is possible, and that is the meaning of transcendental. Anyone living in this mundane plane who does not have a permanent residential permit for the spiritual world may fall down even though he may have attraction to that plane. Up to and including the stage of Mahabhagavat, there is always the possibility of going down again in this mundane world. A Mahabhagavat can also fall down, but not from the transcendental world. When the transcendental world comes here and appears to be attracted to this world, it is not attachment really. It may appear to be attachment, but there is no possibility for the transcendental to be mixed with the mundane. Maya jakshena prakritihi suyate sa characharam. Bhagavad Gita 9:10. Maya, the mundane plane, is always like a shadow, but the abskissa is everywhere, otherwise there cannot be both light and shadow. In the middle there is always an abskissa, Tatashta Shakti, and that is where the jiva souls are coming from by the will of Krishna. Krishna is looking at the jiva soul. Tal Lingang Bhagavan Shambhu. He is throwing his vision of jiva Shakti, and there the jiva Shakti are immediately active. Although ultimately it is the ray of Krishna, but actually it is the ray of Narayan. Really, Krishna is not interested in doing that. Rather, he is playing with his paraphernalia and is not interested about the mundane plane. What he is producing is transcendental. It has no connection with Maya. But Narayan, Vishnu, is always in the middle portion. The upper level of the spiritual world is Krishna Loka. The lower level is Brahma Loka. And the middle portion is the area of Vishnu, Narayan, and many avatars. In that section are Karana Dakshai Vishnu, Garbha Dakshai Vishnu, Shiro Dakshai Vishnus, Purusha avatars, Leela avatars, Yuga avatars, and many more. Each of their worlds is transcendental and infinite. Where Nrsimhadev is staying is also the transcendental world, and is infinite. But with our puppy brains we cannot imagine. It is called Achintya Shakti. It is beyond Prakriti, beyond our thinking. At the same time, Krishna can take his food through his mouth, through his hand, and through his feet. It is so. In the mundane world, we cannot think that it is possible, but it is true in the transcendental world. The transcendental world is infinite. Where Krishna is staying, that is the transcendental world and infinite. Similarly, it is so with Ramachandra and other incarnations of Krishna. Everywhere it is transcendental, but we are unable to think of such things. That is called Achintya. All the worlds are infinite, but we cannot accommodate that within our puppy brains. It is not possible. But a devotee can clearly understand all these things because he has strong faith. When Krishna says, "This is a rope," then certainly this is a rope. But if Krishna says, "This is a snake," then, oh yes, it is a snake. At present we do not have the transcendental type of knowledge, but when illusion will leave us, then we shall be able to see everything in the proper way by Krishna's grace. With our thought we may be able to go to the opposite side of the world and think what is happening there. But the transcendental plane is above and beyond the mind. Sometimes if we see the transcendental plane, we may find that we are too close to see clearly, but can focus better from far away. If I hold the newspaper too close, then my eyes cannot focus on the print, but from a proper distance I can read it clearly. Proper adjustment is necessary with everything. We may want to see what pastimes are going on in Vrindavan at this moment, but we cannot. The morning, the evening, and all things there are going on transcendentally. First we must go there, get entrance there, and then we shall be able to see everything. By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra without offense, we shall be able to see everything as clear as daylight. Otherwise we cannot understand the infinite nature of the transcendental world. If you think you can make a garland out of all the peaks of the Himalayas and the peaks of all the mountains of the world and offer that to Krishna, and if you think you can make a rope out of spiders' webs and bind an elephant, then you may be able to understand something of that plane. So it is not necessary to think too much, but instead our main attention is to try to chant Hare Krishna properly. This is our main channel to go there, and this is our one hope. End of chapter 3 of Affectionate Guidance. Chapter 4. Our Lifeline of Devotional Practice. Nahang tishtami vaikunte yoginam hridaye nacha madbhaktaha yatra gayanti tatra tishtami narada. From Padma Purana. The Lord said, quote, I am not living in Vaikuntha and I am not living in the heart of the yogis, but I remain where my devotees are singing my glories. End of quote. So Krishna can be found wherever his glories are being chanted by his devotee. So the main thing in our life is that we need association of the devotee. Therefore, wherever there is a regular devotional program continuing by his devotees with chanting, we should try to attend. It is within Vidhi Marga, and if we follow Vidhi, a regulated devotional program, it will give some adjustment in our life. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur preached, Matala Harijana Kirtana Range, Pujala Ragapata Gaurava Bhange. This is inscribed above the front entrance of the Nat Mandir, here at Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. And later a picture relief has come out above it, illustrating its meaning. Gaurava Bhange means that there are some rules and regulations. From afar we shall worship the Ragapata, the path of spontaneous affectionate service, while we ourselves live within the Vedic guideline. If we think that we have become a gopi, that is not the real feeling. But if we think that we want to become a servant of the gopis, that is the real thing. The process is Shravanam and Kirtanam. When we have established ourselves in the plane of full dedication, from there we shall start our real bhajan life under guidance of a sadhu. Question. So what is the actual meaning of Gaurava Bhange? Srila Govinda Maharaj replies, Gaurava means Vidhi. Narayan is the Gaurava deity, but Gaurava Bhange means the honorable guideline of the scriptures, and from that position we are always to give honor from afar to the Raga Marga. Raga Marga is a very high plane. Why? Because in that plane there is only affectionate attachment with Krishna. That is the plane of affectionate service. Question. In this verse, what is the reference to Gaurava Bhange? In what way is that verse referring to Vidhi? Srila Govinda Maharaj replies, Matala Harijana Kirtana Range and Pujala Ragapata Gaurava Bhange. This is our life's goal. Kirtan is the first stage and also the last stage. Kirtan can take us from the lowest level to the highest level, Raga Marga. We start our practicing life through Kirtan. Mahaprabhu said, Yagyai Sankirtana Prayaya yajanti hi sumedashaha. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. Yajanti means bhajanti, worshipping Mahaprabhu by the process of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and following his Sankirtan movement. Question. I have always understood that the verse Matala Harijana Kirtana Range, etc. means that our highest ideal is Raga Marga, and keeping it above us, we worship it from afar. Srila Govinda Maharaj. The correct idea is that we must always think it to be above us, otherwise we shall go down to the Sahajya line. If we say that someone is a gopi, it is perfect Sahajyism, perfect imitation. That is real Sahajyism. But if we say that someone looks like a gopi, that is not Sahajyism. We have some idea of what a gopi looks like, so if we think that a particular lady looks like a gopi, that will not be Sahajyism. But we have no right to say it actually. Otherwise, immediately we shall be on the mundane platform. No doubt someone is qualified to say so, but we shall not think that we ourselves have the right to even take the name of the gopis. Throughout the whole of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Shukadev Goswami did not once mention the name of Srimati Radharani. This is because he tried to guard his discourse from Sahajyaism. During that meeting with Maharaj Parikshit, many were present who would not have been able to understand properly if Shukadev Goswami had mentioned the name of Radharani and her associates. If someone does not have the proper capacity to understand these topics, they will immediately go to Sahajyaism. For their protection, Shukadev Goswami did not take the name of Srimati Radharani and the gopis, such as Lalita Devi, Vishaka, etc. Their identity was shown by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his writings. He gave some light by mentioning, this verse was spoken by Srimati Radharani, this one by Lalita Devi, etc. So, we must worship the Ragapata from afar, and our duty at present is to serve that rank of the devotees and to engage in the congregational chanting of the Mahamantra in the association of the devotees. This is the safe and actual process for us to make advancement in our Krishna-conscious practicing life. End of chapter 4 of Affectionate Guidance. Reading Affectionate Guidance. Chapter 5, Affection. We need good association, then affection will grow. Otherwise, the fitness will not come for us to progress in the higher plane. First, a relationship will come through association, and when a relationship is formed, affection may come. It is first necessary to have a relationship with Guru and Vaishnava, the devotee of God. Otherwise, affection cannot be ours. Here we must know that regard for Guru and Vaishnava is necessary before affection. Then progress will come to us. Ado Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangorto Bhajana Kriya Tato Nata Nivrittisya Tato Nishtha. Affection comes to us through Nishtha, then Ruchi. Divine relationship is always closely connected with sadhu sangha, association with the saint or pure devotee of God. But before that, shraddha or faith is necessary. If faith is firm, then we can try to have a relationship with a sadhu, and through the association of the sadhu, learning to serve with devotion and becoming purified of evils, a higher plane of affection may come to us. But it is first necessary to go through 3 or 4 stages before affection. Still, it may come to some immediately. Affection is with everyone, and it can grow without any cause. Even in this mundane world, we can sometimes see that from the very first day of meeting, some people are very good friends. As soon as they see each other, affection comes immediately. Similarly, it is also possible in spiritual dealings, but before that, some sukriti, good fortune, must work in the background. When practicing spiritual life, doing what we call sadhana, at that time it is necessary to have the association of the saintly devotees. Through that association, regard grows within and hankering arises. Actually, hankering gives affection, but until we have real hankering for the divinity, it remains suppressed. After purification, firmness will come, and from that ruchi or taste for the divine will come. And from ruchi, affectionate relationship begins. But all these things are attained through association of the saintly devotee. Without that association, divine serving activity is not possible. When one is not qualified, the proper serving may not be accomplished. In an unqualified way, one's mind may wander at random, thinking, "This is perfect, that is perfect." But because one is living in the environment of illusion, it will not be real service. No doubt, by good fortune, it may be sometimes correct, but generally it will not go in the correct line, because the illusory environment will misguide us. Anor Anyan Mahato Mahiyan. If we say that Brahman, the spirit, is very great, the idea of greatness will mean something like the sky. Beyond the sky we have no idea of greatness. But such knowledge will not act there. The transcendental world is completely separate and beyond this knowledge. So, generally we shall go the wrong way. That is why the proper association, sadhu sangha, is necessary. There are two kinds of sadhu sangha. When we have no person sadhu to associate with, the holy books will help us. But if we have the association of a good sadhu, we can attain the divine goal under his guidance directly. Not everyone will feel affection. Good fortune will work in the background. With strong good fortune, one can immediately cross over the next 3 stages after association with the sadhu. But this is possible in very special cases only. Our Srila Guru Maharaj used the word affection, but it is necessary for us to know the line in which he did so. Affection is possible everywhere, even from the lower level to the higher level. Somebody wants to feed others. That is also a kind of affection. He does not want to eat so much himself, but he would rather feed others, and this gives him pleasure. If anybody eats more at that time, the affection of the distributor immediately goes to that person. Another example is that even before a child is born, affection for the child grows in the mother's heart. When there is a firm relationship, affection may be established, and the relationship will be firm through the sadhu sangha. Everyone has a relationship with everyone, but feelings are manifest according to the relationship. Even if people may not know that they are relatives, by birthright they have an automatic relationship within. Sometimes our Guru Maharaj would say that by dharma buddhi, a virtuous attitude, sense control is possible. At that time, a relationship with the higher will also come to us through that virtuous attitude. Affection for the higher will grow if we keep a virtuous attitude. I know that this medicine is bitter, and my tongue and senses do not want to accept it, but my intelligence will give me more than that. My intelligence can say, "If you take this bitter thing, your health will be better." Then affection comes to us for that bitter medicine. In this way we can try to have a proper relationship. In the Mahabharata we are taught that when we are not sufficiently eager to have a relationship, it can be established by a virtuous attitude. That virtuous attitude is living with us. We may be living in the mundane world, the illusory environment, but virtuous attitude does not forsake us. Otherwise we would live randomly. We do not live at random. When someone is traveling opposite to my direction, there will be a clash or a crash if I don't leave some room for him. That is virtuous attitude. When affection is not openly expressed, it is necessary to correct our vision. Then it will come. Sometimes during the time of Srila Guru Maharaj, he would insist on some plan of action according to his desire, but we could not understand his logic, and if we objected, he could not understand our idea either. Still, we followed Guru Maharaj's idea, virtuous attitude, and when the result came, we would think, "Oh, Guru Maharaj has done so much good for me." This happened many times. Sadhu Sangha, if we can follow, it will give us relief from so many things. It will give a very good result in the future. But all depends upon Shraddha, faith. Adau Shraddha tata Sadhu Sangha. First faith, then the saintly association is ours. And the translation of Shraddha is more than just faith. It is actually affectionate faith. Chanting the holy name is also like this. We are chanting Hare Krishna, but are we really chanting, or are we just creating a completely material sound vibration? Srila Rupa Goswami has described this very nicely. Ataha Shri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai. How should we chant? Sevan mukhe hi jivado swayam eva swaratyadaha. He will reveal himself. When he is happy with us, he will feel, "Here is my dancing stage." If we properly prepare that stage, he will happily come to dance on our tongues. We cannot expect to catch the holy name with our mundane tongue. The holy name is transcendental, and we cannot catch it by the use of our mundane senses. This is why Guru Maharaj gave much importance to service life. Seva is service. The attitude of service is necessary, and when we are firm in our service attitude, the stage will be automatically built in our bodies. So many say they are initiated, but have they got real initiation or not? In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, "Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpana, se kale Krishna tare kare atma sama." Antilila 4:192. When one is initiated by a genuine Guru, because the Guru is non-different from Krishna, Krishna will take the full charge of the disciple. And when Krishna does that, nothing mundane can remain. Atma Sama means transcendental. Krishna makes him transcendental. When he surrenders to the Guru, Krishna makes him transcendental. Se deha kore tara chiranandamaya. His form appears the same, but it is transformed to a transcendental form. We see this devotee seated here, but his form is transcendental. Se deha means that body takes a transcendental form. Then aprakrita dehe Krishna charana bhajaya. After that, the disciple does bhajan, divine service, and Krishna accepts his service. So where is the justification of all this? If everyone says it is all false, then will no one take initiation? But another part of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita explains to us that this is a certain stage of development. Brahmananda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Bhaya Bhakti Lata Bija. In Madhya Lila 19.151. Prem no hi bija pradam. The Guru takes the responsibility to give the seed of Krishna Prema, love of God. So we are not to be hopeless. Now, if we are given the seed, if we plant it properly, it will gradually become transcendental. This is the inner meaning. So we cannot be hopeless. The other day I said that we have got two very great gurus. One is Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, and one is Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. So we have no doubt that we have also got the real seed. The seed is genuine. We see that all over the world people are chanting Hare Krishna. It is a fact. Everybody knows now. Even in Russia, there also they know about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Also in Hungary. And this consciousness was given by Srila Swami Maharaj, and Srila Swami Maharaj considered Srila Guru Maharaj as his Guru. So we have no doubt that we have not only got a great Guru, but we have two great Gurus. They are Karnadhara. They are our guardians. The Guru is the captain of the ship. If we do not follow the orders of the captain, that is our defect, not his. So we should now try to plant that seed properly. That duty is called bhajana kriya, or proper performance of devotional duties and services. Through that, anatta nivritti, or purification, will automatically come. A sense-controlled person is free from mundane attachment. We are fortunate that we have seen many of such souls. But all credit is to my Guru. He can make a crow into a Garuda. No credit is mine. If I feel anything is to my credit, then I fall to the worst position. And such a sentiment must come from the heart, not just formally. If somebody wants to show, I am a Vaishnava, so I must show my humility, that is not Vaishnavism. Humility will come from the heart. That is real humility. End of the reading of chapter 5 of Affectionate Guidance. Chapter 6. Going Deeper. In this world we are always playing with fire. Maya Devi is very powerful. She always wants to take our time for her service. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown us that the path of our life is the practicing of Krishna consciousness. That is necessary for our transcendental super benefit. And we can cross over the illusion of Maya only if we practice Krishna consciousness under the guidance of a good Vaishnava who is giving 24 hours a day to Krishna for his service. With his association, we must get our super benefit. You understand, I am not this body. Further, I am not man or lady. Still, in fact, we are all of female nature in the sense that we are to be enjoyed by Krishna. So the male or female bodies that we have at present are illusory, but it is necessary to cross over that illusion. We have some desire, but that desire is also illusory. Our potency, that is, soul, is made of willing, feeling, thinking. It is transcendental. We come from the transcendental power of Krishna. You will find Tal Lingang Bhagavan Shambhu in Sri Brahma Samhita. Also in Sri Gita, Krishna says, Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. chapter 9, verse 10. Krishna throws his vision, and that vision is also transcendental. The place of that vision is Shambhu, Shiva. With the agency of Maya, that vision produces this mundane world, and the transcendental world is produced by Baladev through Sankarshan. Sahasrapatra Kamalang Gokulakyang Mahatpadam Tat Karnikara Tat Dhamma Tad Anantangsa Sambhavam. Sri Brahma Samhita 5.2. And where Krishna Leela or the pastimes of Krishna are going on, everything is transcendental and full of ecstatic joy. And that, in general, is produced by Sankarshan. This means we should know that Sankarshan is the Guru of Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva's forms are in general two. One is Sadashiva, and one is Gunavata Shiva, incarnation in the modes of material nature. Gunavata Shiva is the vision of the Lord. His original form is Sadashiva, but when he mixes with the modes, gunas, of material nature, he takes the form of Gunavata Shiva. In our present situation, we cannot actually differentiate between the two. Sadashiva is above Maya. He is pure Vaishnava, and his highest position is in Paravyoma, Vaikuntha, the spiritual world. And when the Gunavatars, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshvara incarnate here, Sadashiva's incarnation is as Mayadhipati, or the husband of Maya. And the husband of Yogamaya, the divine potency, is Sankarshan. Tad Anantangsha Sambhavam. This is the way in which the transcendental world and the mundane world are produced and flow. Our real form is transcendental. The Jiva soul has the capacity to go to the transcendental world, and that is the actual place of the Jiva soul. But in this world, everything is an illusory environment. The problem is that we are running through our previous karma. If we can leave that karma, we will solve all our problems. But the only way we can completely leave it is by surrendering to Krishna. That is the final decision in the Gita. First Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, said to practice Karma Yoga, then Jnana Yoga, Sarva Karma Kilang Partha Jnane Parishamapyate. Quote, the perfection of action is knowledge. Unquote. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kamasya Nendriya Pritir Labho Jiveta Yavata Jivasya Tattva Jigyasa Nato Yash Cheha Karma Bihi 1-10. Quote, the purpose of accepting material facilities is not sensual satisfaction. Rather, to accept only as much material facilities as keep body and soul together is the purpose of desire, that is, the only justifiable desire. Therefore, inquiry after the Supreme Lord is the chief objective of life, and the attainment of higher planes, like heaven, through fulfillment of compulsory and conditional duties, as made much of in this world, is not the objective. End of quote. And also from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.23.56, Neha yat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na titapada sevaya jivan api mritto hi saha. Quote, in this world a person whose work does not lead him to virtue, whose virtue upon becoming desireless does not bear the fruit of his detachment from all things non-Krishna, and again whose abnegation does not culminate in the service of Tittapada Sri Hari, such a person is nothing more than the living dead. Naishkarmyam apyachyutabhava varjitam nashobhate jnanam alang niranjanam kuttha punha shashvad abhadram ishvare na charpitang karma yad apya karanam. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.12. Quote, knowledge or liberation in Brahman that denies love for the infallible or devotion for Sri Krishna, that liberation is not glorious, even if it is spotless or free from all material coloration. Why? Because the variegatedness of divine pastimes is absent. Then how can worldly work, karma, which is by its very nature inauspicious, ever be glorious when it is not offered to the Lord, even when it is selfless? End of quote. And then here in brackets, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote, quote, karma depends on the material body, and its fruits are also mundane. Therefore karma is most inauspicious for the spiritual soul. Even if that karma becomes desireless or selfless, it cannot directly yield any spiritual fruit. Still, if one's work yields bhakti or devotion, only then does work, being offered to the Lord, become unblemished and the indirect yielder of an auspicious result. Even jnana or enlightenment or liberation in pure spirit is not perfect. At times it is rather completely injurious or opposed to real progress. Only when liberation is a servant of devotion, which is full of divine variegatedness, does it succeed in becoming one with or merging with devotion. End of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's comment and end of bracket. This is Srila Govinda Maharaj speaking again in his book. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings begin from this point. Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva, jivanti samukharitang bhavadiya vartam. Stane stitha sruti gatam tanuvan manobhir, ye prayaso jita jito pyasi tasis trilokyam. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.3. Quote, Lord Brahma said to the Supreme Lord, O Lord, completely shunning the attempt for enlightenment by meditating on the non-differentiative Brahman, those devotees who hear the talks about you that flow from the mouths of the sadhus, saints, and pass their lives remaining by thought, word and deed on the path of sadhus, they attain you, O Lord, who are practically impossible to reach in the entire universe. End of quote. That is life. Actual transcendental life starts from that point. The tendency of jnana is also being thrown out. The surrendered soul lives with the sadhu who is glorifying Krishna. That is the primary lesson for taking the jiva soul upwards. That is the primary lesson of bhakti. Real ananya bhakti, exclusive devotion, begins here. And Mahaprabhu said, quote, yes, but you proceed. No doubt here is real devotion. But proceed, don't stop here. End of quote. In that way, one by one, Ramananda Roy elucidated the stages of rasa, or divine serving levels. And lastly, the bhakti yoga in parakiya rasa, divine consulthood in paramo sentiment, that was shown by Mahaprabhu as the most elevated. Still, although it may be very high, it is our own property. We can have it. The question always arises here, can we achieve it or not? But we can. In this world we say, he is my son, she is my wife, he is my husband, etc. But after a few years, I must see that my husband, etc. has gone. Husband means this body. But I have never seen who was inside. I never saw him either before or after. That is the problem, but we are very attached. We are crying, crying, crying. Sometimes crying and crying, we leave our body also. Then the position is very insecure for the jiva soul. but by his bad karma he is suffering like this. Seeing this, Krishna himself becomes very sad, and so he sometimes sends the sadhu, the guru, and he also descends as an avatar. And also Swayam Bhagavan, or the Lord in person, comes and reveals his pastimes. In many ways he tries, but he does not want to disturb their freedom. If you can freely and spontaneously render seva, devotional service, that is genuine seva. He can influence us very easily, but he does not want to do that. He wants you to eagerly, with your full devotion, try to serve his associates and his lotus feet. That is your super benefit, and he does not want to disturb that. But he can advise through Shastra or scriptures, through the Vaishnava, and through the Guru. He teaches us in many ways and circumstances, sometimes taking the form of a fish as Matsya avatar, or a tortoise as Kurma avatar, and so many other avatars. There are 10 main avatars listed in the scriptures, and others also. But all his advices and directions lead to Rome, in the sense that he does everything for our super benefit, by showing that path to the service world. And that is necessary. Only through service can we go there, otherwise we have no possibility to touch that plane. Na tad bhashayate suryo, na shashanko na pavakaha, yad gatva na nivartante, tad dhamma paramang mama. Srimad Bhagavad Gita 15:6. Quote, that place having attained, which the surrendered souls never return from again, that is my supreme, all-illuminating abode. Neither sun, moon, nor fire can illuminate it. End of quote. This sun, this moon, nothing in this world can supersede or touch that world. In the middle portion there is the vast Viraja river. But if you plant the seed of devotion very nicely, the Bhakti Lata, creeper or vine of devotion, can cross over Maya Loka, or the illusory environment, cross over Vaitarani, and also the Viraja. Upajya Barelata Brahmananda Bhedi Yaya, Viraja Brahmaloka Bhedi Paravyoma Paya, Tobeyaya Tadupari Goloka Vrindavana, Krishna Charan Kalpa Vrikshe Kore Arohana. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 19 verses 1, 5, 3 and 4. Devotee asking a question. Vaitarani and Viraja are the same? Srila Govinda Maharaj replies, no, Vaitarani is before Viraja. We have seen in Puri there is also a river called Vaitarani, representing that. It is described as being like a moat surrounding Svarga Loka, heaven. The whole Brahmanda or universe is floating in Viraja. Above are the 7 planes, Bhur, Bhuvar, Svar, Maha, Jana, Tapa and Satyalokas. And below are the 7 planes called Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala and Patala. Total 14. That is one Brahmanda, and millions of such Brahmandas are floating in the Viraja river, which is like an ocean. And the Bhakti Lata, or creeper of devotion, has the strength to cross over that Viraja. But when the creeper of our devotion is young and tender, like a child, at that time we must protect her. Yadi Vaishnava aparad utte hati mata, upade va chinde tara sukhi jaya pata. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 19:156. Quote, if offense to the Vaishnava aparad, occurs, the mad elephant uproots and breaks the creeper and its leaves dry up. End of quote. This is the greatest difficulty. If one commits Vaishnava aparad, his creeper of devotion will be uprooted as though by a mad elephant. And Srila Jiva Goswami has mentioned in his Bhakti Sandarbha, Sarva parada krid api ityadyuktyanu sarena nama parada yuktasya bhagavad bhakti matopyadaha pata lakshana bhoga niyamachcha. In general, there are 10 kinds of offences to the holy name, headed by sadhu ninda, or offence to the sadhu. Then to disbelieve in the transcendental name, quality, form and pastimes of the Lord, and consider the demigods like Shiva to be equal to Krishna. Then to offend the Guru, the scriptures, and so on. So even if one may be a very high Vaishnava, his creeper of devotion will be destroyed, and even he will go down if he offends another Vaishnava. So we must try to avoid Vaishnava aparad, and then we can succeed with everything else in our spiritual life. For our real goal of life, we must cross over Viraja. At present, our universe is actually floating in Viraja, but beyond Viraja and Brahman also is Paravyoma, or the transcendental world. End of the reading of chapter 6 of Affectionate Guidance by Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. Reading Affectionate Guidance, Chapter 7, Transcendental World. Virajara pare shuddha paravyoma dhama tad upari Shri Gokula Brindaranya nama. Brindavana Chintamani Chirananda Ratna Khani Chinmaya Apurva Darashana. Tahi Mache Chamatkara Krishna Vanaspati Sara Nilamani Tamala Yemana. Tahe Eka Swarnamayi Latta Sarva Dhama Jayi Utiyache Parama Pavani Hladini Shaktir Sara Mahabhava Namayara Tribhuvana Mohana Mohini. Quote, beyond Viraja river is the holy Dham Vaikuntha. Above that is Sri Gokula, known as Brindaranya. Vrindavan, jewel of our hearts, mine of divine gems, what a joy to see that holy beauty. In the middle of a miracle, dark lord of forest trees, appearing like a sapphire tamal. And there is a golden vine, queen of all the Dham, appearing, she's supremely gracious. She's the joy of ecstasy. Mahabhava is her name. As she charms the charmer of the world. Hladinira Sara Prema, Prema Sara Bhava, Bhavera Paramakashta Nama Mahabhava. Mahabhava Swarupa Sri Radha Thakurani, Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 4, verses 68 and 69. Quote, the essence of ecstasy is love. The essence of love is heart. And the acme of heart is called Mahabhava. And the personality of Mahabhava is our queen, Sri Radha Thakurani. She is the mine of all good. She is the jewel of Krishna's beloved. End of quote. Srila Govinda Maharaj speaking now. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu composed these great things. We are not actually in the practice of reading them constantly, but I have heard such things from Srila Guru Maharaj. These matters are very elevated for us, but there is our goal, and she is actually our Guru. as our divine mistress. Her form is being described here. Although these are very high matters, it is necessary for us to remember them from time to time. We have our future prospect, and that is very high. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has quoted in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi Kriyatang Yadi Kuto Pi Labhyate Tatra Laulyam Api Mulyam Ekalang Janma Koti Sukritar Na Labhyate. Madhya Lila, chapter 8, text 20. Real devotion to Krishna is very rarely attained. If you see that type of devotion anywhere, purchase it with your hankering, your laulyam. Only your hankering can give you your share of that property. That is the only price for that. Otherwise, you cannot achieve it after even billions of lifetimes of merits. So hunger is necessary for that, and hunger will come if you make your stomach empty first. First take some purgative and cleanse yourself. Then gradually hunger will come. This cleansing means sadhu sangha. Through devotional association you will get everything. Those who have heard about Devahuti, the mother of the Lord when he appeared as Kapiladev, may know about this story. Devahuti was asking Kapiladev, "My son, I know that you are Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but how shall I reach you? The Munis, Rishis and Yogis have so many processes, but I have no capacity to follow them. My body is a woman's body, and a woman has no right to practice in the Vedic scriptural way. Then tell me, my son, how shall I get devotion to your lotus feet?" Kapiladev said, "Don't worry, it is very easy. It is not necessary to read many books, perform yagya or fire sacrifice, etc. Nothing like this is necessary for you. I am telling you only one point, and you are to follow this. Satang prasangan mama virya sangvido bhavanti hrit karna rasayana kataha taj joshanad ashva parvarga vatmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukrami shakti." Srimad Bhagavatam 3:25-25. Quote, "By the association of the sadhus, talks revealing my super glories take place. Those talks are nectar to the pure ear and heart. Continue affectionately in this way, and rapidly you will gain first faith in myself, who am the way to purification of all evils, then heart's devotion, and finally divine love or prema bhakti will graciously appear within your heart. Mother, associate with the sadhus and follow their directives. Then you will understand everything. Why? The sadhus are always trying to satisfy me, and you can see how they satisfy me by having their association. If they are affectionate to you, they will give that consciousness to you, and you will easily get my grace. This is the only way. Whoever follows it reaches me very quickly, and this is also my direct advice in the scriptures." End of quote. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the shloka, "Yevai Bhagavata Prokta Upaya Hyatma Labdhaye Anjaha Pungsham Avidushang Vidhi Bhagavatan Hitan." Quote, "The ways for even the ignorant to reach him have been told by the Supreme Lord. Know those ways to be Bhagavat Dharma." End of quote. If Bhagavan says, "I like fried potato," and I give him fried potato, he will be satisfied. It is not necessary to think out what will satisfy him if he tells us what he likes. So this is the directive of Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord. He is telling you what to do. Do this, do that. This is Bhagavat Dharma. So Kapila Dev was saying, quote, Bhagavat Dharma is what is practiced by the real sadhu. You follow that. You need the association of sadhu, and this is my final advice to you, mother. That is, satang prasangan mama virya sangvido, bhavanti hrit karna rasayana kattaha. They are hearing about me, shravanam. They are glorifying me, kirtanam. They are remembering me, smaranam. Shravanam, kirtanam, Vishnu smaranam. They are trying to serve me in every way possible. Also, padasevanam, archanam, vandanam, dashyam, sakyam, atmanivedanam. Serving my feet, prayer, servitorship, friendship and self-surrender. They are offering everything to me. They try to do everything with my association. If you associate with such sadhus, then you must also do that. There is no other work there in their association. So you must be benefited if you take advice from the sadhu and follow the sadhu's character. End of quote. This is the first and last advice, and very simple advice, of Bhagavan Kapila Dev. And in the 11th canto, the Lord himself also defines Bhagavat Dharma. So, what is followed by the Vaishnava and written in the Srimad Bhagavatam is Bhagavat Dharma. Then, in the next verse we find, Yanashtaya naro rajan na prema dieta karhichit dhavan nimilya varnetre na skalena na padhet iha. If you take that path, you have no fear from anywhere. Just run. Whether your eyes are open or closed, it does not make any difference. You won't fall down. We cannot guess from here how much joy and ecstasy is there, how much happiness and enjoyment. We are trying to guess, but we cannot, because our puppy brains cannot conceive it. Everything is explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. That is called the science of devotion. There Srila Rupa Goswami has said, Yavatitya bhavanavatma yaschamatkara bharabhu hridi satvojvale badang svadate saraso mataha. 25132. What can we guess about that plain? It is living. The slightest idea of that ecstasy you cannot guess with your puppy brain. What can you think? You can try to imagine how great the sky is, but how will you imagine it? In your estimation, only 2 kilometers or 2 miles is great. But your brain can think, yes, the same sky is in America and in India. So some kind of broader conception is possible. Still, even that is less than a mustard seed. 1 mustard seed means 14 worlds, up and down. All those planes together are called one Brahmanda, or universe, and that is like no more than a mustard seed in the presence of the divinity. Then how much can you guess? If you can surpass the ideas of your entire consciousness, then perhaps you can consider what kind of wonder that ecstasy is. Our brains are always agitating this way and that, trying to understand, but we cannot guess what kind of wonder that is. But it is. And the sages and seers, the munis and rishis, they feel for us, and for our benefit they have compiled the Shastra to guide us, especially Srila Vedavyas. So it is not helpful to try to understand this with our tiny brains. Only when that ecstasy will come and conquer our hearts can we feel it. And we must wait for that, not try for it. This is the way to taste it. When he will come, my heart will be fulfilled within a second. That is the ecstasy, the essence given in the perfect philosophy of Vedanta. Raso vaisaha rasang hevayang labdvanandi bhavati. If you want that ecstasy, you can try to worship that plane. Then you will get it by the mercy of the real associates of Krishna, and that is the main thing. But there is no need to be hopeless. Much hope is here, especially in this Kali Yuga. Mahaprabhu said, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. Chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without offense, and you will get everything. End of reading of chapter 7 of Affectionate Guidance. Reading chapter 8, Divine Service. Devotee. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has explained about Karma Yoga. Can Karma Yoga ever be seva or devotional service? Srila Govinda Maharaj replies, Karma and seva, action and divine service, are identical from the external perspective. Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga are the same apart from one thing, and that is the inner mood of the practitioner. The inner intention is the all-important differentiating factor. What result is going solely to the Lord and not to the Jiva soul, that is called Bhakti Yoga. When all of one's work will be accredited in the account of Krishna, then that is Bhakti Yoga. And when the result of one's work is credited to the account of the Jiva soul, then that is Karma Yoga. It is very simple. Yat karoshi, yat ashnasi, yat juhoshi, dadashi yat. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva mad arpanam. Bhagavad Gita 9:27. Quote, Whatever you will do for me, you will not be responsible for any reaction you accrue from that. End of quote. Karma is giving reaction. Newton's third law is that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Many of Newton's laws have been disputed and even broken, but this law still exists unchallenged. It is not only Newton's law, but it is the law of the Gita, of the Vedic scriptures. We are living within the plane of exploitation. Otherwise, no reaction could come. That is, we are exploiting and exploited within this plane, and so reaction is always coming to us. Once, just after the war of Kurukshetra, a rishi from near Kashmir, named Uttanka, came before Krishna with a view to curse him. You are the cause of the violence in Kurukshetra. If you had wanted to, you could have easily controlled the situation and prevented it, but you did not. Now millions of women have been widowed as a result of that battle, and I cannot tolerate to hear them cry. You are the cause, and so I shall curse you. Krishna smilingly replied, O Rishi, please give a little hearing to me. You have amassed so much subtle power through your austerity, your tapasya, but that will be useless if you throw your curse upon me. I am existing in the plane of Nirguna, the non-material plane, so your curse will not touch me. All your austerity, tapasya, everything you have acquired, it is all within this material world. It may reach up to the highest plane of this world, Brahmaloka, but it cannot touch my position. It will be futile and you will lose everything. So I advise you not to curse me. Please heed my advice to you. I am giving you the knowledge so that you will see who I am. Then, with folded hands, that rishi took shelter of Krishna. Now I can see you, and you have saved all of my tapasya. That is the plane of Nirguna, and playing there is devotion, the service world. There are three planes, the plane of exploitation, the plane of renunciation, and the plane of dedication. Who is wholeheartedly serving Krishna, he is living in the plane of dedication. He is not responsible for the results of his own activity, yet he is happy with his activities, because he is trying to satisfy his Lord. and the Lord is living within the Nirguna plane. So the reactions are not coming to the devotee. I often give the example of a policeman or military man. During war, a soldier may kill hundreds or even thousands of other people, but the responsibility for that must come to the government, so no reaction will come to that man. Any reaction will come to the government. Similarly, a police officer may sometimes kill a criminal while trying to apprehend him. Again, the reaction must come to the government. If through his work anything wrong has happened, then compensation will be given by the government, not from his salary. This is the example. If we offer all our activity for the service of Krishna, then that is Bhakti Yoga. All result will go to Krishna, and it will not come back to me. Otherwise, if we are doing karma, following karma yoga, then some reaction will also come to us. It is nature, otherwise the universe would not function, and that is true not just of this universe, but all universes. When we examine this universe, we are amazed, and we think that there cannot be anything more than this, but it is not so. The rishis have seen that like this universe, millions of universes are existing and floating in a river of Viraja. This universe has 14 levels. The upper levels begin with Bhur, Bhuvar, Svar, Mahar, Jana, Tapo, and up to Satyaloka. And downwards there are Tala, Atala, Vittala, Nittala, Talatala, Mahatala, and Sutala. And like this, millions of universes are floating within the ocean of Viraja. Virajara pare shuddha paravyoma dhamma tad uppari shri gokula brindaranya nama. Crossing over the Viraja, there is Brahmaloka, the effulgence of Vaikuntha-loka, Paravyoma. Brahmaloka means no man's land, equilibrium, or abscissa, and crossing that we can enter the Paravyoma Dham. But first we must obtain a visa. Without the correct visa, no one can enter another country. We may obtain a passport from the Mahamaya here, or by the grace of Lord Shiva. He has that power. But that will be useless if you cannot get a visa from the Vaikuntha Loka. Vaikuntha is existing within the plane of dedication, and who is fully dedicated, he can get that visa. And even after entering that plane, many inner divisions exist for which you need further inner visas if you want to go there. Sankarshan Baladev, he is the visa officer there. Sankarshan is the master, and Yogamaya is the mistress there. All activity is through the agency of Yogamaya, and the necessary power is coming from Sankarshan. Yadyapi asrijya nitya chit shakti vilasa, tatapi sankarshana ichchaya tahara prakasha. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 20:257. Devotee. A brahmachari who lives in the mat of the mission is in a very safe position because everything he is doing is seva for the mission. But in the Grihastha ashram we are doing so much karma, so how can we be safe in our spiritual life? Srila Govinda Maharaj replies, it is not always true. The brahmachari may be living in the mat, that may be true externally, but that brahmachari may really be living in narak, in hell. Similarly, one may be living in the Grihastha ashram, but he can be residing in heaven. It is only dependent on the inner mood. Taking the saffron cloth, doing some work in the mat, and maintaining the formality, that is not sufficient. The only thing sufficient will be the true mood of devotion. If there is the mood of devotion, then that is very nice. That is quality. Srila Guru Maharaj said we need quality and not quantity. You will see very few brahmacharis in Guru Maharaj's mat. They are coming and staying a few years maybe, but eventually they cannot remain. It is ultimately all depending on the mood. Mood of devotion or mood of emotion. If one is living in the mat only emotionally, never going to the deeper level, but only floating on the surface, then he will not get the proper result. And one Grihastha can do 100 times more service to Krishna through his genuine mood of devotion. But if one is living in the mat and doing 24 hours per day sincere service, then he must get the proper result. The substance is necessary, and that is devotion. The word devotion is only applicable to a devotee. If one is a devotee, then we must consider that he has devotion. We may say, he is a devotee, and he is a devotee, and she is a devotee. But that may only be an external identification. Devotion is the most valuable asset. One may be from the lowest caste, may be a Grihastha or anything, but if he has devotion, then he must be the best of all men. In the Ramanuja Sampradaya, which is also existing within the devotional plane, there is a famous story. There was a devotee named Danu Das. Das generally means a non-Brahmana, but Ramanujacharya went to his house and accepted prasadam there, and because of his devotion, a representative from Vaikuntha-loka came to him and took him to that plane. This is not just a story, this is a fact. So we can understand that everything is depending only on devotion. Where there is devotion, there is no problem, and devotion has its basis in strong faith. The first thing necessary is strong faith to Guru and Krishna. Otherwise we cannot do anything for Krishna. We may do something, but that will have no value. We can do something only with heart, with affection and with love, and behind that must be strong faith. That is devotion, and that will give us hankering for Krishna, whose qualities are unique and wonderful. The Jiva soul has 50 qualities in common with Krishna. In the first layer, we are the same. Then the demigods have 55 qualities. Narayan has 60. Sankarshan Baladev has 62. And Krishna has 64 qualities. He is the origin of all, even of Narayan. In Sri Brahma Samhita we find Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. It is proven there in Brahma Samhita. If you read Brahma Samhita, you will find that a very concise description is given. In less than 100 verses, the entirety of the Vaishnava theology is presented. And above all, you will find it is established that Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Jiva souls are emanating from his marginal potency, or Tatashta Shakti, which means they can be attracted to either the mundane or divine world. Krishna's special qualification is that when the flute song of Krishna comes out, the whole universe is attracted. But if our ear is blocked with wax, then we will not hear that. So first it is necessary to clean ourselves, then we can hear. Existing above the plane of Narayan is Krishna Loka, and there 4 qualities are playing in an unparalleled way. Sarvabhuta Chamatkara Leela Kalola Varidihi Atulya Madhura Prema Mandita Priya Mandalaha Trijagan Manasakashi Murali Kalla Kujitaha Asama Nodva Rupashri Vishmapita Characharaha. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2, 141 and 42. Quote, There the play of Krishna with the Braja Gopis and the Braja Balakas, cowherd girls and boys, and others, is going on in the sweetest way. In Vrindavan Dham, where there is Govardhan, the Jamuna and the 12 forests, the sweetest varieties of play are going on day and night. End of quote. Brahma himself was stunned to see those pastimes of Krishna. He could not understand who was this boy playing in Vrindavan. He thought, "This is not my creation, or maybe I created this and have forgotten." In this way he was perplexed, and so he stole all of Krishna's cows and cowherd boyfriends and kept them hidden in a cave. After 1 year he returned to see the result. He was astonished. Everything was going on just as before. At first he thought that the cows and cowherd boys must have escaped from the cave, but when he checked he found they were all still there as he had left them, in mystic slumber. Then he was astounded. He could not fathom how the play of Krishna is floating in this way, and he submitted a very nice shloka which is found in Srimad Bhagavatam. Janantareva janantu king bahuktya nam me prabho manaso vapusho vacho vaibhavang tava gocharaha. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-38. Quote, "Whoever will say that they know your glories, they can say that, but my confession is that I cannot understand you at all. You are simply beyond the reach of my body, mind and words." End of quote. This is Sarvabhuta Chamatkara Lila Kalola Varidihi, his wondrous pastimes. And those who are in his association, they are Atulya Madhura Prema Mandita Priya Mandalaha. His companions are always playing in the mood of Madhura Rasa. There nothing bad can exist. Krishna is the only enjoyer, and he can enjoy with everything. He enjoys the love of the paramour, and there in that transcendental abode, that has the topmost position. Those who have the very sweetest ecstatic love in their hearts, the boy and girl friends, those types of friends are always playing with Krishna. He is the enjoyer, and they are the suppliers of that enjoyment. But peculiarly, they in turn feel more joy within their hearts than even Krishna is feeling. Why? In this mundane world we can see this principle also. Many will like to eat, but there are some who like to feed others, and they feel more pleasure doing that than being fed. When they are cooking and feeding others, giving happiness to others, their happiness is greater than those being fed. When they see the happiness of those they are feeding, they are getting double happiness. Similarly, the devotee wants to satisfy Krishna, and when Krishna is satisfied, then the devotee is doubly satisfied, and Krishna embraces that devotee. And he is Asamanodva Rupashri Vishmapita Characharaha. What kind of sweet person is Krishna? When he sees his divine form reflected in the mirror, like a madman, he wants to embrace that. His beauty is so intense that even he cannot understand that it is a reflection. From this we can get some idea of the kind of beauty found in him. And when the gopis are getting his embrace, how much happiness they are experiencing, we simply cannot say. This is the super love relationship with Krishna. And Trijagan Manasakarshi Murali Kala Kujitaha. The whole universe is attracted to Murali, the flute of Krishna. From Krishna's flute, the first sound, the primeval Om, was heard by Lord Brahma. Hearing that, he was intoxicated. He tried to meditate on that, and through his meditation came the Kama Gayatri, by the grace of Dibya Saraswati. This is all explained in Sri Brahma Samhita. Happily, I can recommend that you try to read this book. Some of the inner meanings are hard to understand, both in the Bengali and the English. If you understand the original Sanskrit, then maybe you will get a little better understanding. But the Bengali commentary is difficult to fully understand. That is because the masters, when they are giving the explanation of the slokas, they do so with full guard, so that the meaning will not be adulterated. So, 4 unique qualities exist in that special plane of Vrindavan, the plane of dedication. That is called Brajadham. The word Braja is a verb, an action. It means to dive deep into the reality. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekang sharanang vraja ahang tvang sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Bhagavad Gita 1866. In the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "O Arjuna, what more can I say to you? You are my dear friend, and so I am now imparting to you my most affectionate advice. You please consider it. I have told many things to you from the first to this last chapter, and that is sufficient to understand the nature of the truth. Of course, some further question may come later, but now it is not necessary for you to know more. Only, what I will tell you now, please give your full attention to that. Whatever you know as religion, I am telling you to leave that and dive deep into the plane of reality. Come to me in Braja." This means that whatever our conception may be, that must necessarily be useless in the ultimate analysis. We have come to deal with the infinite with our finite understanding. If we say it is unlimitedly big, then how much can we conceive of big? Like the sky? But how much can we see of the sky? Perhaps 2 miles, not much more than that. And if we say it is unlimitedly small, then how much small can we conceive? To the atom? But the Upanishad says, "Anor aniyan mahato mahiyan." Quote, "He is smaller than the atom, and there he can exist with his full power." End of quote. It is inconceivable, and so Mahaprabhu has said, "Achintya bedha beda siddhanta." The perfect conclusion is that the Lord and the individual jiva souls are simultaneously and inconceivably similar and different. This is the conception of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You cannot conceive of the Absolute through your mind and intelligence. Mental power is the highest in this mundane world. The mind can move faster than the ether, but that is also useless to approach Him. He is Achintya. Achintyaha kalu ye bhava na tangstarkena yojayat. Prakriti bhyaha parang yachcha tad achintyasya lakshanam. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2.593. Quote, "That which is of the nature of the Absolute is called achintya, or inconceivable. Reason can only comprehend what is of the mundane nature, so do not try to control what is inconceivable within your knowledge, your mental power. It is beyond your reason." End of quote. That is the Achintya Shakti of Krishna. End of the reading of chapter 8 of Affectionate Guidance. Reading chapter 9 of Affectionate Guidance. Transcendental knowledge and the fortunate soul. Devotee. Maharaj, though one may generally acquire knowledge from an external source, we can see in the case of Srila Guru Maharaj that transcendental knowledge was always coming from within his own self. Srila Govinda Maharaj replies, yes, this is a very important truth. Sometimes Srila Guru Maharaj would visit Badrik Ashram in the Himalayas, and once while he was there, he contracted pneumonia and was confined to bed with a temperature of 102 or 103 degrees. I was not there on this occasion, but other highly respected godbrothers and disciples had accompanied Guru Maharaj. It happened that at this time one greatly learned Pandit came to debate with Guru Maharaj, but when he heard of Guru Maharaj's illness, he decided he would not disturb him. Instead, he began his philosophical talk with the other Vaishnavas present. All of these devotees were highly qualified in scriptural knowledge, but none of them could defeat that proud Pandit. Meanwhile, Guru Maharaj, hearing everything from his bed in the adjoining room, could not tolerate that the opposing arguments of the Pandit would not be defeated. So, in spite of his high temperature and serious condition, Srila Guru Maharaj sat up, saying, "Bring that man to me." It should have been impossible. All were astonished, and with great respect the Pandit came before Guru Maharaj. Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sri Ram Maharaj, said, "I am very sick, but if you can tell me the gist of your question, I shall try to answer." Taking the stance of an agnostic, the Pandit posed his question. "Where is the proof that the soul resides within the body? Can you prove this?" Srila Guru Maharaj replied by quoting a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Quote, "Everyone is questioning whether the Atma, soul, exists or not, and this type of debate is continuing. Each gives his opinion based on knowledge gathered from the external world, but the Atma is light, and it is by this light only that knowledge can be seen. It is by the soul's power that they are able to debate. Although it cannot be seen, it is the light within the body that is the power which enables one to see, to walk, talk, and do anything." End of quote. Upon hearing this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, the Pandit immediately accepted defeat and humbly submitted, "Maharaj, I also know that shloka, but you have the feeling of Atma, whereas I have not. Because you have seen Atma, you can immediately fulfill my question, whereas I could not have given that answer so quickly, and that is the difference between you and I." The mood of the Pandit changed, and he took shelter at the lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj and continued to discuss the scriptures. All the Vaishnava sadhus there were amazed that in only 30 seconds or so, that great proud Pandit had been defeated. So we can see, knowledge and transcendental knowledge are not the same thing. We gather knowledge with our senses in this plane, but transcendental knowledge appears in the heart through transmission from one who is fully conscious in the divine plane. Devotee. It would seem that without real love and service to the Guru, too much knowledge can be a problem in our spiritual life. Srila Govinda Maharaj. Yes, it is a very unfortunate problem, and I have seen this many times in my experience in this mission. We all have some power of realization, but that realization is all based on our experience of the mundane world. Therefore, whatever we perceive will be within the eye of mundanity. This type of vision has been growing since our childhood, and although we may develop great expertise in any given field of knowledge, still that will be mundane. That very knowledge may be an obstacle to our devotional life. Only by the mercy of Guru can we overcome these obstacles. Otherwise it is not possible. I often tell that I have been in this mission for over 40 years now, so you will understand that I have seen many things in that time, many obstacles to devotion. But my guardian was very strong, and by his mercy I crossed over those things. If I have strong faith in my guardian, then if I see anything wrong, I will be able to cross over that safely. Everybody has some problem in this mundane world. It is by nature a faulty plane. But to see with a fault-finding nature will be very bad. If I am examining a person, why should I try to see where are his faults? Rather, I should search where are the good tendencies in that person. I must try to see that, and this is my master's teaching. If I have a strong master, then there is no problem. By the grace of the Divine Master, my fortune will also be that I can follow him. I shall think, I am a fallen soul, I had no real fortune, but he has made my fortune. That is why I am fortunate. And in this way I will get some proper vision. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bij. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila 7151. Quote, while wandering throughout the universe, if a soul is greatly fortunate, by the grace of Guru and Krishna he receives the seed of the creeper of devotion. End of quote. Our fortune is given by our Divine Master, and if we have strong faith in our Master, then we can cross over anything and everything. We shall be fearless. When my Master is with me, I shall have no care for any obstacle. Fearlessly I can jump from a high bridge into the river, because my guardian is watching over me. If we can have this mentality, and can get this type of faith from our Gurudev, then we are Bhagyavan Jiva, fortunate souls. We can understand what is the nature of devotion only by the mercy of the Divine Master. Krishna warns the fallen soul, don't offend my devotees, don't underestimate their position. You cannot see if their position is high or low, so whenever you see my devotee, bow down to him and try to get his mercy. If you can get his grace by any means, that will be your greatest fortune. End of Chapter 9 of Affectionate Guidance. Reading Affectionate Guidance, Chapter 10, A Life of Service. Srila Govinda Maharaj. This year Srila Guru Maharaj is residing in his Samadhi Mandir, and we are trying to serve him through his instructions, through his guidance, and with his blessings. Although I do not speak English very well, still Krishna consciousness is moving heart to heart. Language is not as communicative as transcendental sound. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra and so many other mantras are revealed in the Vedas. We may not know their meaning, but by chanting them the meaning is revealed. We are meditating on the mantras and we are receiving light from them. In this way we can understand that only the devotional spirit can help us, and devotion is the highest and only real means for practicing Krishna consciousness, for serving the Vaishnavas. If I see a man drowning in a river, should I go to learn the local language and then try to help? No, I will have to do what I can immediately. And our position is also equally desperate. We are drowning in the ocean of Maya. So whatever we now have, we will have to utilize that for our rescue from Maya. Guru and Vaishnava are coming from the transcendental world, from Chinmoy Dham, which is purely spiritual, and we are also essentially spiritual, so they can easily communicate with us, soul to soul. Soul-to-soul communication is the best method, and this way, when we are reciting the mantram, when we are trying to follow their advice in whatever way, they are helping us for our transcendental progress. The sadhus, the saints, are establishing mats only for the benefit of the conditioned souls. They are so kind that only to help us they are arranging rooms, accommodation, and making so many arrangements, just so we may have the chance to serve the center, to help us progress easily towards our spiritual destination. In the association of other devotional souls, there will be no fear. In their company we become fearless. Therefore we should always be very enthusiastic to see the devotees and have their company. We have been following Srila Guru Maharaj for so long, and we were always happy in his presence. And even now we are happy, because his instructions are coming in a supramental way. In the presence of Guru Maharaj, he would directly give his instruction, and so it was very easy to know his direction. And now, if we find ourselves wanting for any direction, we are meditating on him, and the instruction is coming, and we are gladly doing some seva, some service. Union in separation is our supreme goal, and that is the Leela of Radha Krishna, and we can meditate on the pastimes of our Guru Maharaj in the same way, in the mood of separation. I am very happy if you can all stay for the Gaurupanima festival. Actually, you may all stay as long as you like, and if the government will give you permission, then you may stay forever in this mat. There may have to be some mundane arrangements for visas, passports, etc., but we will always welcome you. This building and everything here, that is only for the devotees. Devotee says, we want a visa for the transcendental world. Srila Govinda Maharaj continues, yes, the supreme authority is Gurudev, and he will give the visa to the transcendental world. He is the authority, of that there is no doubt. From the mundane to the other world, to Krishna's dham, Gurudev is giving that visa. He is the Ashraya Vigraha, the Lord we accept as our shelter. We must try to chant and follow his instructions, and then no real problems will come into our lives. This is the way to make our fortune in life. First we must be initiated into the supramental power of Harinam, the Mahamantra. And here we find there is no limit to how many rounds we can chant, but the minimum must be 16 rounds. Srila Guru Maharaj was so merciful. He said, if you are engaged busily with the service of Guru, Vaishnava and Krishna, then that divine seva must be fulfilled. But the mala, japa beads, must not fast. Therefore, even in exceptional circumstances, you must chant 4 rounds minimum. Normally 16 rounds only takes about 1.5 hours, so to chant 16 rounds is not so much. Srila Haridas Thakur would take 3 lakhs names every day, that is 192 rounds, and only after completing that would he take prasadam. When Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was living at the Yogapit Mandir in Mayapur, he would take 1,64 rounds every day. But as the service of the Lord and the Vaishnavas becomes more and more, then naturally the chanting will become less and less. Service is our life. We must always try to serve. I do not know who is Krishna, who is Bhagavan. I do not know what is what, but Guru and Vaishnava, they know, and they are always serving their Lord properly. With this mentality we can help ourselves. I can help myself by always serving the Vaishnavas and my Gurudev. This is the proper channel. If somebody is giving money to the mat, They may think that they are helping this mat, but actually they are helping their own self by their energy. Money comes through the exertion of energy. A man is trying to gain money, and in so many ways he may be giving his energy for the collection of money. And when that money is given to the mat, then that means that his energy is now coming to serve Guru and Vaishnava. When I was living as a brahmachari, Srila Guru Maharaj would send me out to do collection, but no matter how hard I tried, I would not gain very much money. Still Guru Maharaj would continue sending me. Go door to door and beg for something. If they give 1 rupee or 100 rupees, that does not matter, but you must go door to door. I was very hesitant, and every morning I would be very unhappy to go begging, and so every day Guru Maharaj would teach me, You are not going to beg for yourself, you are going for Guru Seva, for the service of your Guru, and when they give you something, they are not being kind to you, they are being kind to themselves. They are collecting money in so many ways, and if they give some of that to you, then their money will be used for Guru Vaishnava Seva. That money comes to Gurudev, and he is offering that to the Lord. And those that gave, they are gaining spiritual benefit. In this way, Guru Maharaj would preach to me. I was 16 or 17 years old, and it was very difficult for me, but Guru Maharaj was always pushing me, Go for begging. And I got 2 types of benefit from that. Sometimes the people I met would ask me why I was not using my time for the mundane pursuits. Why had I left home? Why had I neglected my worldly duties? Why was I not with my mother and father? And so many other questions. I would have to give the answers to their questions, and in so doing, I would clarify myself within. Then secondly, I am collecting some money for my Gurudev, and he is offering that to his Gurudev and Lord Krishna, and in this way I am gaining my spiritual benefit. Having a human body means we must maintain it nicely, but for what purpose? For the service of Guru, Vaishnava and Krishna, only for seva. And if I can keep up this ideal, then no Maya can come and overpower me. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, our Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, all of them are preaching, and if I also try to preach to this world, then I shall be benefited, and somebody who hears that must also be benefited. This is the way of Krishna consciousness. Thus ends the reading of chapter 10. Chapter 11. Emotion or Devotion. Devotee. I want to know if it is okay to read the higher books by the Goswamis, describing the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Srila Govinda Maharaj answers, We are not doing that. In my 42 years with Srila Guru Maharaj, I never once heard him give permission for that to us. I know many of the books you are speaking of very well. That is, my position was somewhat different. Srila Guru Maharaj is a Paramahansa Vaishnava, and I was his personal servant up until about 1983, when I engaged some others for his personal service. At that time, my seva responsibility increased in such a way that I was unable to always serve Guru Maharaj in person. Still, I was always looking after his health. From 1973, I was treating Srila Guru Maharaj as his doctor. Guru Maharaj was so ill that all the doctors had said that no medicine could work in his body, and They were sure that within a few days or a week at most he would leave his body. Of course, Guru Maharaj's body is a Siddha body, but still all the most qualified doctors said that it was beyond their capacity to treat him. Then one day I was taking my bath and I was crying, and I called to Lord Shiva, "O Lord Shiva, you have said that I am your son, and really I feel that I am. You are the master of all medicine, so please, my Lord, give me some medicine for my Guru Maharaj." After my desperate prayer, I heard the name of a medicine, as if from the air. At first I thought I had mistaken the sound of the water from the shower as the name of the medicine, so I prayed again, "Please let me hear that name again, so that I may be sure." And again the sound of that medicine came. I knew that medicine because at that time I was practicing as a doctor of homeopathy to the people, but until now I had never treated Srila Guru Maharaj. This was because, firstly, I was not always staying with Guru Maharaj, and secondly, I had never considered myself to be a very good doctor. I was able to give some help to the poor, but I felt that was as much as I could do. In any case, after hearing the name of the medicine from Lord Shiva, I felt very free in my mind, and I knew that Guru Maharaj will not leave us now. In the meantime, Haricharan Prabhu called me on the telephone. "Srila Guru Maharaj is sinking fast. He has no pulse, only a slight heartbeat, and no blood pressure." I told him, as a matter of fact, "Prabhu, don't worry. I have just now been given a medicine by Lord Shiva. Give it to Guru Maharaj, and he will be cured. I am coming right away." I took the last train from Calcutta, which was late, and arrived at the mat at about 12 o'clock midnight. And when I arrived, I saw Srila Guru Maharaj sitting in his chair and taking prasadam with his own hand. I asked Guru Maharaj, "What has happened? Haricharan Prabhu told me you were sinking." And Guru Maharaj replied, "Yes, I was, but Haricharan Prabhu gave me the medicine that you told him, and now you can see." Then his pulse came back and blood pressure became normal, and Guru Maharaj said, "From this day you will be my doctor." All of Guru Maharaj's doctors consented, but still I was thinking that Guru Maharaj is so great that somebody will chastise me. "Why are you not calling the doctor? Why are you treating Guru Maharaj?" I was a little afraid, and still I could not consider myself as a very good doctor. Then Guru Maharaj said, "All the doctors have already said that no medicine can work for me, so now happily you can treat me." So I became Guru Maharaj's doctor, and after that his main illness was a chronic headache. He had suffered from this headache from the age of 17, and from 22 it became very strong. When Guru Maharaj was suffering with his headache, he could not eat anything. Only he would take water and constantly be throwing up. Sometimes this would last for 3 days, sometimes 6 days, and sometimes up to 12 days. So I began researching, and finally I told Guru Maharaj, "Maharaj, now your headache must go. I can treat you, and forever it will be gone." All the homeopathic doctors who had treated Guru Maharaj had prescribed nux vomica and administered it from 30 to mm potency, but none had had the desired effect. As they had all prescribed this same medicine, I concluded that nux vomica must be Guru Maharaj's constitutional medicine. I then went to an allopathic doctor and asked him what is the dosage of nux vomica mother tincture in allopathy. It was 8 drops maximum. So I decided to give Srila Guru Maharaj 5 drops. When the first signs of the headache came, I administered the 5 drops of the mother tincture, and the headache was reduced to a standby position. I was confident that now this headache will go, because previously no medicine could check it. The only other medicine that could give Srila Guru Maharaj relief from this condition was Kafergot, a type of ergotamine. Ergotamine is a very serious drug, and through taking this, all of Guru Maharaj's health problems came. But it was the only relief possible before now. After about 2 or 3 hours, again the headache came, and so I gave Guru Maharaj 1/4 dose of the ergotamine. And again, after about another 6 hours, the headache returned, and I gave the nux vomica. In this way, alternating between the two, and then, after 24 hours, I stopped the ergotamine and continued with the nux vomica, along with Lord Shiva's medicine, and 2 other homeopathic medicines I had selected. That headache was then completely gone forever, and so in this way I was the doctor to Srila Guru Maharaj. Still, if I was not at the mat, I left instruction that if the need arose, then the allopathic doctor should be called. Once Guru Maharaj was suffering from bronchitis, and so Haricharan Prabhu called the top doctor of Navadip, the president of the district medical board. He came, and after seeing Srila Guru Maharaj, prescribed some medicine. Guru Maharaj flatly told him, "No, I will not take your medicine. Govinda Maharaj is my doctor, and only after he comes and says, will I take your medicine." Then the doctor was very angry and said, "Then why did you call me?" Guru Maharaj said, "I did not call you. Haricharan Prabhu called you." So the doctor asked Haricharan Prabhu, who explained, "I called you because Srila Govinda Maharaj said I should." The doctor replied, "Do not call me again. If Guru Maharaj will not take my medicine, then why should I come?" And angrily the doctor left. When I arrived, I asked Guru Maharaj what had happened, and he told me the events. So I went to see the doctor. When I reached there, the doctor was still angry, and he said, "Oh, Govinda Maharaj, you have come. It is not necessary to come. I shall not go with you. I shall not see Guru Maharaj as my patient." I told him, "You must continue to see Guru Maharaj." "Why should I come? He will not take my medicine." "No," I said, "he will not take your medicine. That is the truth. That is because you yourself have said that your medicine will not work on him. I am calling you because I am not a very good doctor, and you are the best doctor in all of Navadip. And if you will examine Guru Maharaj and give your diagnosis and prescription, then immediately I can understand from your medicine what homeopathic medicine I should give instead of that. This is why I call you, and you have love for Guru Maharaj, so you must come." Then the doctor was quiet and said, "Yes, if that is the cause, then I shall come." Anyhow, this was the history. I could not always stay with Guru Maharaj, and so I engaged some others for that. But before that, Srila Guru Maharaj had no other servant, and so we heard many things during our association. And not only that, it was the desire of Guru Maharaj to tell something about the pastimes of Krishna, of Radharani, and others. So we heard from him, but always he told us in a very cautious way. Never did he tell us to read Ujvala Nilamani or similar books. But some things he told us, and I know many shlokas from Ujvala Nilamani, Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava, and others. That is, Guru Maharaj had me study Kavya, that is Sanskrit composition. and it is necessary to read these verses to understand the many varieties of Sanskrit meter, language, beauty, alankar, etc. But I can say it is a special case. It is not for all. These books are no doubt the supreme books of our Sampradaya, but they are not for all and everyone's reading. If anyone will read these books, then they will become prakrita sahajya. And what will be for them? We do not want that our brother and sister become that, so we must be very serious about our practicing life. You have left everything, your culture, your allegiance to country, community, your habits, everything you have left to try and practice Krishna consciousness. So you will have to be serious, and you also need the result. To only practice, that is not your life's goal. You need the end result, Krishna consciousness. And how will you get that result? It is necessary to first understand this. We are chanting Hare Krishna, but we have not become perfect. Why? We must research this. Why is it not happening? Why is the feeling not coming inside? If it were merely a cheating matter, then it would be no problem. But it is not a cheating matter. It is proven in the scriptures of India, the Veda, Vedanta, Upanishad, Purana, 5,000 years of culture. And there are munis and rishis who have all got the result. If you study the scriptures like Mahabharata, you will say that all the advices are very good, and you will see that so many have gained the result. Then why are we not getting the result? The time has come for us to know why. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada has come to this world. Srila Guru Maharaj has come. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur has come. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Their books and everything are with us. All the property of Sri Chaitanya Dev's Sampradaya is with us. But it is not fruitful to us. Why is this? It is necessary to know. We do not want to cheat anybody. We want to do something good for others. And if we cannot do anything good, then at least we will not do anything bad to others. So we must be serious about our practicing life, and that means we must follow the directives given by Srila Guru Maharaj. Before approaching the Rasa Tattva, the serious high pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Krishna, we must prepare ourselves for that. Otherwise, that will not give us the perfect sentiment. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is written, 10.33-39, Vikriditang Raja Vadhu Bhir Idang Cha Vishnuho Shradhan Vito Nushinuyad Atta Varnayadyaha Bhakting Param Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kamang Hrid Rogam Ashva Pahinoti Achirena Dhiraha. Quote, if you hear the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis, especially the Rasa Leela, etc., which have been revealed in this mundane world by the grace of Krishna, if you hear with your full faith from a bona fide Guru or Vaishnava, and if you subsequently describe that to others, then you will get the topmost supreme devotion to Krishna. The conjugal play of Krishna with the gopis in paramour love, which he tastes in a variety of ecstasies. If you hear that, then your heart disease of lust will be expelled forever. End of quote. So why is it that when we contemplate that Leela, we are getting difficulty and we are going to a hellish position? This we must research carefully, and that knowledge has been given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and especially by Srila Saraswati Thakur. Srimad Bhagavatam has declared that the lust will be driven out of the heart, and one's consciousness will come to the level of Krishna Prema. Bodily consciousness will be forgotten, and that will be overtaken by Prema consciousness. One must get that position. So why are we not getting it? Harinama is transcendental vibration, non-different from Krishna. We are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but in which way shall we chant? The Mahamantra manifests himself by appearing in your heart and dancing on your tongue. But if Harinama is transcendental, then I cannot chant with my mundane tongue. This is the truth. The mundane cannot play with the transcendental. Only when the mundane becomes itself transcendental can it come in touch with the transcendental name. It is very clear. So, somehow or another, we must make ourselves transcendental. There is a very nice analogy of the moon. The moon is always in the sky, but sometimes it is obscured by the clouds. Sometimes we can see it, and sometimes we cannot. So the position of Harinam is like that. Like the cloud, we are always coming and going, and according to our standard of chanting, sometimes Harinam may reveal a glimpse, and sometimes he will remain covered. Then finally he will reveal himself in our hearts. We are getting some result. Then we can say, yes, it is the truth. But if we get nothing, then we will become hopeless and think, why should I spend my time for this? But behind that we will have to see that the reason is because I cannot chant properly. We can see that in every religion there is the chanting of the Lord's name in one form or another, so they cannot all be wrong. So we can understand that there is great benefit in chanting the Lord's name. There is no doubt. And further, in the scriptures of India, it is recorded that if you chant this particular mantra, then you will get this particular result. Another mantra, another particular result. The ancient rishis and munis have discovered and proven this. A rishi is he who can discover something in the field of Vedic religion, a PhD of religion. And a muni is he who is successfully practicing the Vedic religion. The rishis and munis are all chanting the Lord's name. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, the demigods and gods, all are chanting the Lord's name. Then, inside of the chanting, like the Nux vomica, there is medicine for us. This Krishna Nama is a form of Krishna, and if you chant the holy name of your Lord, then you must get the result. So, what is the process to chant properly? Sriman Mahaprabhu has given the threefold process: humility, tolerance, and honoring others. If we cannot chant properly, then in some way we are not following that process. It is our ego. We are getting some result, no doubt, otherwise we would give up chanting Harinam. Also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said that if we cannot avoid the Namaparad, offense to the name, and in all probability we will not be able to avoid, but if our intention is to try to avoid that, then we should pray to Harinam. O Harinam, I cannot properly chant your holy form, so please reveal yourself within my heart and purify me. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, chanting, 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 chanting. Somehow, in any way, we need to get the attention of that holy name. In this way, we must get the desired result. I can say it is so. Otherwise, if it were only cheating, then I would have left it long ago. My nature is like that. I do not want to cheat anybody. I cannot beg from anybody, and I cannot cheat others. But sincerely I say to you that you will get that result if you chant in this way, following the process of Mahaprabhu, and carefully guarding against making any offense to the Vaishnavas. Then we should pray to Sri Harinam. O my Lord, you are transcendental, and I am living within this mundane world. I am Jiva, soul, and so I am also transcendental by nature, but due to misuse of my finite independence, I am covered by illusion, covered by ego. Please be kind upon me. O Harinam, give me your mercy and reveal yourself within my heart. This must be our mood of prayer. I heard from Srila Guru Maharaj that when his godbrother, Srimad Parvat Maharaj, was a young boy, he used to live in the house next door to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He told us, "In my young age I heard every night, from about 2 a.m. until the morning, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur would chant the Maha Mantra on his rooftop. But you could hear that his chanting was more like calling, a heartfelt call to his Lord." So we must be serious about our chanting, and we must make obeisance to Guru and Vaishnava. We should know our Guru as perfect. But who is a Vaishnava, that we do not know, and to what extent one is a Vaishnava, that we also do not know. Someone may be 25%, another 70%, and another may be 100%, or only 5%. We do not know. But we should know that everybody has some good qualities, whether they are a demon or a saint. But who is a Vaishnava, we do not know. So we must give honor to all, and be respectful to everyone, and be surrendered to the will of God. Then the Vaishnavas must be kind to us. That is the process given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It may be hard to follow that, but if we really need the true result, then we must proceed only in this way. And proper adjustment will be constantly required. Suppose someone will kick my father in front of me. If I will tolerate that and be humble, then he may kill my father. My father is to be protected by me. I am his young son, and he is old and weak. Therefore it is my duty to protect him. So what is humility and what is tolerance? Everything will need to be adjusted. And Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur has given that adjustment. He says that to just make some show of being very humble, lower than a blade of grass, will not be sufficient. Of course, that is the fact, but some substance must be within your heart, and that must be the perfect substance. In every situation, you must have some realization. Should someone abuse your Guru in your presence, then what will you do? If you think, "I am very humble and I shall be tolerant to him," then that is not real Pranadapi Sunichyana. We find the proper response in the person of Sriman Mahaprabhu, who preaches this philosophy. When Sridhar Swami, the original commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam, was insulted by Vallabhacharya, then Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, you do not give recognition to Sridhar Swami. Who will not give respect to their Swami? They are a prostitute." Prabhu hashi kahe, Swami na mane ye jana, veshyara bhetare tare kariye ganana. From Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antilila 7.115. Then everywhere there is harmony, some adjustment, and with full consciousness we shall try to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Under proper guidance we can read everything. We have a right to read, but that must be under the guidance of a perfect person who knows fully that plane. Then no offense will come to us in any way, and we shall not become Prakrita Sahajias. Knowledge, just for its own sake, has no real value and will not give us our real goal. I recently met one old friend in New York. He is a disciple of Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada and famous as a Pandit. He is accumulating much scriptural knowledge and learning, and he is constantly questioning me, and all very taxing, complex, scriptural questions. Finally I told him, "Prabhu, what are you doing? You are questioning me and I am giving you answers. But then are you proceeding or are you remaining in your present position? If you think you are getting any benefit from me, then why are you not coming with me? Why are you remaining here? Come forward with me. Otherwise, why spend my time?" I also asked him, "Are you satisfied with my answers?" He replied, "Yes, Maharaj, I am very satisfied." Then Srila Govinda Maharaj responded, "Then what will you do with my answers? If that does not reflect in your life, then all your questions are useless, and all of my answers are useless to you. My time is wasted, and your time is wasted. If you are satisfied with my answers, then why are you not coming with me?" Then he replied, "Oh Maharaj, I have no money. I cannot come right now." We must be very serious in our practicing life. Then I can give you a guarantee that you must get your goal. You are in the line of Srila Guru Maharaj. You have the mercy of Srila Swami Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur. Then you must get it. But you must be very conscious about your practicing life. I have seen many in our line who think they are proceeding very happily and practicing very happily, but they are not seeing themselves through my eyes. Once I said, "What is devotion and what is emotion? Are you under emotion or are you under devotion? You cannot see." Hearing this, Shripad Janardhan Maharaj said, "Oh Maharaj, you are chastising me." Actually, it is not to chastise anyone. I want to be serious for everyone and for myself also. Already 64 years of my life have passed, and how much longer I shall live I do not know. If we are under emotion, then we must leave that and try to go to devotion. Heart and soul I am trying. Guru Maharaj gave me some service. Previously, in the time of Guru Maharaj, whatever service I did, he would digest. If I did right or if I did wrong, he is digesting that, and my service is getting some position. But now all my good and bad is coming to me, and so I must be even more serious. And all the devotees are really very good. Otherwise, why are they coming in the line of Krishna consciousness? Then I must be serious for them also. I must teach them. Please come this way, don't go that way. That is my duty given by Srila Guru Maharaj, and if I can do that seriously and with all sincerity, then they will get the result. I will get the result, and Vishvang Purnam Shukhayate, the whole world will be benefited. End of the reading of chapter 11 of Affectionate Guidance by Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj.